Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Taco here, bringing you my first commentary on the channel. Hopefully the first of many, but I thought what better way to do that than to bring you guys a video about a game that truly blew me away this year, and a game that I consider to be one of the best open world games of this gaming generation. That game being none other than Ghost of Tsushima, and why I believe it has a great chance of being the game of the year for 2020. One of the elements of Ghost of Tsushima that separates it from the other games that have been released this year, as well as the other open world games of the past, is just the breathtaking visuals. I think a lot of open world games have, extremely tremendous environments and settings, but feudal Japan during the Mongol invasion is definitely at the top of the list for me. I think some of the Japanese culture and values are greatly instilled in the activities and the missions in the game, and you truly feel immersed in the environment. The visuals themselves, though, like I mentioned, are breathtaking and really on a different level than other games. Whether it's the trees or the vibrant leaves, or Jin on horseback riding through the tall grass, leaning over and letting his hands touch the grass as he rides. It's the small details in this game. The yellow bird who leads you to, the different activities throughout the game, whether it's a fox den or a hot spring. The guiding wind that takes you to the different side quests and main missions is extremely refreshing compared to the typical mini-map or compass that you use to go from point A to B. It really brings in that natural ambiance that the game is trying to create, that creates a world that you want to explore and dive into. With the guiding wind compared to a compass or map, I really found myself stumbling on so many different activities and side quests. Whether it was a peasant who had been, kidnapped by a small band of Mongols, or just coming across, a fox den, or one of the duels versus the Straw Hat Ronins. These activities just kind of pop up on you compared to other games. Specifically, I'll mention Assassin's Creed, where, you're kind of just checking off the question marks on the map just to get closer to that 100% game completion. This game truly had you immersed in the environment, and it was just a beautiful environment to be immersed in. Now, the story is the reason that I'm going to replay this game. The reason that I'm going to play, New Game Plus if that is released, play it again on the hardest difficulty, and buy any DLCs if Sucker Punch does decide to release them. It was just way too memorable. There were so many great missions, whether it was a side quest, a main quest, or just overall moments in the game. The inner conflict that Jin has to deal with between following the samurai code of Lord Shimura or being the ghost and doing whatever is necessary to liberate Tsushima from the Mongols, whether that's using poison or, smoke bombs or chimes or just sneaking around forts and farmsteads assassinating people. It really brought an interesting element. I think it really provides you as a player with two vastly different techniques and playstyles on how you want to approach certain missions and certain quests, and it just kept things interesting. Whether you did want to sneak around forts and, assassinate Mongols one by one, which I did do at times, and then other times I would go to a fort or a farmstead, do my samurai stance, kill 5 Mongols off the rip, and just go in katana blazing. That is the joy about this game. Some of the moments that stuck out for me were the battle for Yarikawa, where you unlock that ghost ability where you're able to, go in and immediately, create fear and kill 3 Mongols. I think all of the Mystic Tales missions were absolutely phenomenal, and just so much quality in some of those missions. The combat was something that I was always worried about before purchasing this game and really watching the reveals and gameplay trailers leading up to it. With these open world games, they're very familiar with, the button mashing strategy of just hammering the square button or circle button until your enemy's defeated or killed. And I do think that the stances in this game really kind of gave that a unique twist. It gave you a specific approach in how to defeat a certain type of enemy, whether it's a Mongol or a bandit, straw hat. Regardless, there was a certain style that was effective against each different enemy, and I think that kept things fresh. It made your gameplay fun to play and fun to look at, And yeah, it just mixed things up a bit. Now, I obviously played the game on my first playthrough on normal, so I really didn't get the, the struggling aspect of truly switching off these stances, in mid-fight every single time to make sure that I put myself in the best position to win. But I do look forward to trying that and dealing with that in future playthroughs. And I mean the duels. I obviously am going to show, I'm showing gameplay of the duels throughout because those were some of the highlights for me, whether it was a mythic tale or, just duels when you were approaching a band of Mongols. It just kept things fresh. There's nothing in other games that are like that, at least from what I'm familiar with. And yeah, just interesting, a hype moment, something that you looked forward to and you were kind of on your toes in terms of approaching. Just an excellent idea, and once again, has you feeling like a true samurai. I do think that Ghost of Tsushima dealt with side quests better than a lot of other games. Side quests sometimes are thrown in as just, bonus material where you're able to explore the world a little bit more, kind of gain some more progression and rewards that will obviously help you and completing the main missions and main quests. But in this game, it wasn't like that. The side quests generally had a progression towards them, where there was 8 to 10 different parts, and you truly developed a relationship with the characters that you were part of. Sensei Ishikawa dealing with Tomoe. In the end, when you actually meet Tomoe and are finally face to face with her, she isn't the villain that she's thought out to be. It kind of creates that gray area where people are flawed in this game. Nobody's perfect, including Jin. And I think that's what makes this game, once again, so memorable and enjoyable, is that the people are real. They have their flaws. They show signs of weakness and struggle. And at points, Ishikawa and Lady Mazuko, have some conflict with Jin himself. You actually have to duel Lady Mazuko at some point later on in the game. And obviously, we can't forget my boy Kenji, who brought comedic moments throughout the game. I just think the side quests were done extremely well, and definitely a structure and great outline for future games to use. I'm going to end this video by saying, if you've played Ghost of Tsushima and if you've beaten the game, please feel free to comment down below. Let me know what you loved about the game, what was your favorite moment, and let me know if you think Ghost of Tsushima deserves Game of the Year. I generally think it has a good chance. Obviously, it depends on if Cyberpunk releases in 2020 or not, and depending on the other games that release in the fall, but we'll have to just see. If you guys enjoyed this content, please feel free to hit the thumbs up and drop a sub. I will be bringing more unique content like this between my monthly montages and really just trying to bring some refreshing and interesting videos to the channel. I'm going to leave you guys with this final scene from the Battle of Yarikawa. This is just such a badass moment. Jin really kills this speech, and this is just one of the moments that really made this game special for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out.
We saved your town. Now, we help Lord Shimura save our island.
We are not soldiers.
Who killed these Mongols? Who stood against the siege? Who saved Yarikawa? We did.
You can't just stay here and wait for the Mongols to try again.
You say you are not soldiers. You are warriors. We can defeat the invaders and save our home. But only if we stand together.